Welcome to Diabetes Self-Management Program in this video on my channel.
We're going to post a question on the board. Okay? We just want you to burst out answers. Okay? We won't have a discussion about your answer until after we're finished the brainstorming. So if somebody says, drink a beer, we're not going to sit there and debate whether we should drink a beer or not. We're just going to put it up on the board and then we'll talk about it after. Okay? All right, we'll practice at this. Okay, so what makes your blood sugar go up? Okay. So, question to you.
Care professionals. So we have this handout here. So this on the front here where there's a little dot, these are the different topics we're going to cover today. And then this is what we do week 2, week 3, week 4. And then on the back here, it actually tells you what sections in the book we're actually going to be covering. So if you'd like to reread some of the material or read ahead of time, it'll give you the page numbers for what's in the book here.
And these books are for you to keep. Okay?
So this is a very inactive workshop. All of us will be practicing what we learn and what we already learned from experience. You will notice that at the back of the handout are the weekly homework. We call them homework assignments, but it's just what's coming up to read. We're not going to check if you read any of this or anything like this. This is more like a reference book. Like we're not going to cover everything in this book. But you can use this as a reference book to refer to. So next we have the guidelines. Okay, so the guidelines, if you can, come to every session. Be respectful of others and their ideas. Maintain confidentiality if someone shares their medical information. Give any new activity at least a 2-week trial before you decide to work on it or not. Like from the toolkit, if you can try something for a couple weeks, if you like it, continue. If you don't like it, try something different. In a few months.
And that's where you're poking yourself. Okay? A1C is important to you and your healthcare team. It tells both of you how well your diabetes has been managed over the past 2 to 3 months. So when that A1C is done, it's giving you an average since the last time you had it done. Okay? If you are working hard to manage your diabetes and taking your diabetes medications regularly, if you're on medication, but still have a high A1C, okay, your doctor should be talking to you about that. Okay, because having a high A1C and doing nothing about it is not okay. Generally, we want our A1C to be below 7. As we age, that number can creep up, but generally that 7 is the cutoff, okay? But ask your doctor what the target is, okay? Blood sugar monitoring is important for you. The test shows you what your blood sugar is at that moment. So when you're poking yourself with that glucometer, that's in the moment. It's telling you what it is right now. In 10 minutes, it changes. Okay, so that's the difference between the two tests. Therefore, monitoring your blood sugar allows you to make adjustments in a day-to-day management. Okay, for example, if you have a glucometer, if you find that your blood sugar is rarely between 5 and 10, 2 hours after the start of a meal, and you're eating that meal, a consistent meal, then you need a different medication or a change in the dose of what you're taking now. Okay? Or if you prefer, you could adjust your usual meal plan by eating a little bit less, or you go for a walk. Okay? And we'll talk about that later. If we use our example of the car, monitoring your blood sugar is like looking at the gas gauge.
Well, some people say eat the rainbow. To do this, try to eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lower fat, dairy products, and if you like, meat and fish. Eat different things every day and watch how much you eat. The portion of what you eat is very important. Number 2, eat meals and snacks regularly. This allows the time for the body to produce and use enough insulin so the body has energy it needs throughout the day. Eating at least 3 times a day and spacing these meals out at regular intervals during the day is important. The number of meals and the time between meals may vary. Many of us eat 3 regular meals a day, every 4 to 5 hours, but some people may need to eat smaller meals more frequently throughout the day, such as 4 to 6 times a day. Eating only 1 or 2 meals is not a great idea, and this can cause both very high blood sugar after eating and very low blood sugar when you don't have anything to eat. Number 3 is eat breakfast every day. It is important because it helps fuel the body after a long night's sleep of rest and fasting. It gives us the energy to start the day activities. If you're trying to lose weight, eating breakfast will help with this. 4, eat about the same amount of food from day to day. This helps for weight loss and helps us maintain an adequate, even amount of energy for you throughout the day. It will make it easier to manage your blood sugar and to take medications at the same time every day. 5, be aware of how much you eat at each food. It is easy to confuse serving size with portion size. A portion size is how much you put on your plate. A serving size is the amount we use to calculate the nutrients in our food. Thus, if a serving size of rice is 1/3 of a cup, and you eat a portion of 1 cup of rice, you're actually eating 3 servings. This is not necessarily bad, but you should be aware of how much carbohydrate and food you're eating so that you can make good food choices. 6, limit sweetened and sugary drinks. 7, limit salty foods and use of extra salt. 8, choose good fats that are better for your heart, such as olive oil, canola oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds. 9 is go for whole grains. Use brown rice instead of white rice, whole grain bread and pasta instead of white bread and pasta. And 10 is limit processed foods. This week we have talked about the importance of balancing blood sugar. There's chapter 14 on managing diabetes and chapter 10 on healthy eating. And also pay attention to the food guide, and we'll be talking about the food guide next week. So I didn't hand out the food guide. So this is the food guide.
Achievable. So we're not gonna solve all the world conflicts in a week. That's not achievable. Okay, so it's gonna be something that you can do over the next 7 days. It's gonna be action specific. So you're not gonna say, I'm gonna eat healthier. You're gonna tell us what that looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna have more vegetables every day or something, okay? And then you're gonna answer these following questions. What is the specific action? How much? When? How often? And we'll walk you through it because it takes a bit of practice. And then the last thing is your confidence level. Can you actually get this done before next Tuesday? And if you say 5 out of 10, we're gonna rework it because it's not a high confidence level. Okay?